If my love life was a candy bar, it'd be a Twix bar, two Twix bars. So that represents two people. So much fun to eat. And the best part about it is that you get to eat it twice.
I would love to know the background of why Artie's so excited to go in for seconds for Twix. Is there some relationship drama?
I'm just gonna make it a candy instead. I feel like it would be black licorice because for a really long time no one has liked me.
No, 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 no.
I know.
I would say peanut M&Ms. There's lots of different people from all walks of life that have come in and out of my love life. So to me, it's like the different colors of the peanut M&Ms. The root of it all on the inside, I feel like everyone that's walked into my love life has had like a very mature, like we've had a mature connection, at least on my end.
I don't think I've ever thought of M&Ms as a mature candy, but I get where she's going with this.
It would be the zero candy bar.
No.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but what is up with all the negativity?
I know.
If my life was a candy bar, I would be a Snickers because you would have this nutty, chocolate caramel flavored person with a little nougat in the middle. Okay.
These are all such incredible answers. So many good puns, so many good jokes. Unfortunately, you can only send one of these answers to the final round of today's show to be crowned possibly the weekly champion. So vote now in chat by typing vote space and then your favorite answer. Maybe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, and just send them on.
Who is it gonna be?
Yeah.
It's the peanut M&Ms.
Yes, congratulations, Sonia. We will see you in the final round. Before we get to the next questions, we actually have a poll for everyone. That's right. We're asking you what candy bar best represents your love life. Good and plenty. Oh, something sour because it's rough out here. A nerd's rope because you love the geeks, or 100 grand because the money comes first and then love comes later.
Oh, that's a good one too. I cannot tell you, a nerd's rope is pretty yummy.
Yeah. Just barely beaten out by good and plenty though. But I agree. Yeah, I love nerds ropes. I think they're one of the best candies. But we are going to actually move on to our next question of the week.
On Saturday, we wanted to know what's something on a dating profile that would scare you off. There's plenty to choose from, I'm quite sure.
Yes, there is. I know that dating profiles, they're hard because you have to make like a good first impression, which is hard. But there's just some things that for me, I'm like, I see it and I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah.
I think for me, there are sort of two. I think for me, it's like when I say bad selfies, I feel like there's a lot of selfies that people will put up that's like really bad lighting. You can't see their face. Their room is a mess. And I'm like, if you're doing it on a dating profile, you could like, I don't really care how you look, but I feel like you just have to have a good surroundings, good circumstances. I feel like that definitely helps. And then also, I don't know if people still do this, but on Tinder, people used to put down as their jobs public figure, which I guess is supposed to be like, oh, I'm an influencer, I'm a content creator. But I'm like, unless you're like a Kim Kardashian.
Right. In which case you don't need to fill in the blank.
Exactly. Yeah. If you need to fill in the blank and tell me that you're famous, you're not actually that famous.
Right.
So. But those are just my, as kids say, those are just my icks. Let's see what other people's icks are. Everyone, what on a dating profile would scare you off?
Something that would definitely scare me away from someone's dating profile would be too much information. I think dating profiles are supposed to be short and sweet, and maybe even funny too, but I think when there's a whole paragraph, I think it can be a bit of a turnoff for some people.
Yeah, you should leave something to the imagination and something to talk about later on, right? Like nobody wants to read your bio. They just want like something snappy that shows your personality. That's a good answer.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people feel they need to tell you everything, but that's what the dates are for, you know?
One thing that would scare me, I think, would be definitely if they say they run marathons with their family on Thanksgiving. I would not be for that. So.
Is that something that people advertise?
I don't know. I'm trying to get to is her point that people are on dating apps and then they have a family? I'm not I have a lot of questions for her.
Yeah, I think if it's the first one, I think you have more pressing issues than they run marathons.
Exactly.
If I were to read on someone's dating profile that they didn't like animals, not only would it scare me off, but I would consider it a huge red flag.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, just saying that you don't like animals is so broad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one thing if you're like, okay, cat person, you get it. They're like, might not be that into dogs, but like, no animals, like none.
Yeah,
Wow,
not
it's a
even
little
a
weird.
fish. Yeah, not even a fish.
Right.
Something that would scare me on a dating profile is if someone says that they like feet or that they don't like music. Like, who are you? Who even are you?
Okay, two different things here. One, not liking music is akin to not liking animals. Like, you're just strange. Like, not one genre of music. The feet thing goes without saying.
Yeah, that's a little wild. And maybe
Yeah.
like I won't put I won't interfere in people's bedroom lives, but I feel like that's a strong thing to advertise like right off the top.
Absolutely. You could say it like covertly, like appreciate a great petty, but yeah.
What's my favorite toe is the big toe.
So I'd have to say, if your profile says married 4 times and still looking for Mr. Right, I'm probably not going any further. We're not going to swipe either way. We're just going to close it and call it a day. Let's be completely honest. Or loves Brussels sprouts. Who loves Brussels sprouts?
Whoa. Okay, I was in total agreement until you got there. Roasted. This girl loves Brussels sprouts. Roasted, a little bit of balsamic glaze. Andre, come on.
Yes, you are missing out on one of the great treasures of the culinary world, Brussels sprouts.
Absolutely.
If your dating profile includes photoshopped or edited cropped pictures of you and your previous significant other, don't message me. I'm scared.
Yeah, that's pretty lazy. I don't care how good you looked at that one event. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, I know that someone else mentions this in their answer, but when people will like include a photo of their ex, but like put an emoji over the ex's face, I'm like, I would rather just like see the two of you just together, because then it's like, why would you include that on your profile if there's like bad blood or.
Yeah, it's so disrespectful. I agree with you. I don't think it would be, I mean, I guess it would be weird to have you and your ex on there, but like if you guys were really good friends, I don't know, it could show some type of growth and maturity as opposed to like a stupid emoji sticker over somebody's face. But yeah, that's a turn off.
Exactly. Yeah, no, these are all such incredible answers. A lot of discourse around like every single one, very worthy of discussion. But unfortunately, there can only be one turnoff that makes it to the final round. So vote 1 through 6 on which one you want to see advance to possibly become the weekly champion.
Yeah, I don't use dating apps, but I have to tell you, like a dating, like personal ick for me is people who talk poorly about their exes. I just think it's unnecessary. Also, like, I don't care, and also it's only your side. It's just, to me, you have unresolved issues. I'm trying to think of what she did not like. She had 2 things.
Yeah. It was she doesn't like people who love feet and then say that they don't like music.
Okay.
Which, yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah, the music thing is just so that's what I'm hung up on, because I'm like, maybe if you don't like animals, like it's weird, but maybe it's like you have like, I don't want to have to like worry about living with an animal or something.
Yeah.
Music? What, you just stare at the wall in silence? What?
Exactly.
Weird. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Yes.
Jinx.
Yes, we will see you in the final round. But now, fans, we have a poll for you all. We're asking you, what is a dating turnoff that you cannot stand? Is it gross habits like picking your nose? TMI, too much information, like one of our answers? Is it no manners? Or is it punctuality? You're late to everything. Guilty.
Ooh, Being rude to staff, big red flag, guys.
Mhm.
Super red flag.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the one for me. Oh, but it was punctuality.
Punctuality. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen, as a person who sometimes can run chronically late, I do get how annoying it is to be running chronically late to things.
You're like, I know. It's me again.
Yeah. Well, this is such an incredible question. So funny. I think we should keep this funny train going with our next question.
Ooh, what's your absolute worst first date story? I had a date once. It was a first date, and somebody took me to, it was like a club, and they had themes, like different nights. And so he asked me if I wanted to go to an 80s night. And it's not really like a costume thing, but girls definitely wear like the colorful outfits and, do their hair and all that stuff. And so I was super excited, and I got all dolled up, and he picked me up and he took me there, but he had the wrong night at the club, and it was actually S&M night. We literally get to the door. I've got like my, Madonna earrings on, and we walk up, and I was just like, is this a joke? Is this actually a joke? I was so scared then to be with, I didn't know him. So I was like, did I just get catfished into going to an S&M club? So anyway, we ended up going to a hotel bar, a safer place. And then I just looked stupid.
Oh no. That is, I mean, at least it sounds like it was just an honest mistake, but that sucks.
He was totally embarrassed and couldn't stop apologizing about it. And it ended up being funny, but it was not the ideal way to kick off a relationship.
No, yeah, that is a strong first impression.
Yeah.
That is such a good story. Let's see if our fans could possibly beat that. It's going to be a tough act to follow. But fans, we turn it over to you. What is your absolute worst first date story?
The worst first date I have ever been on wasn't anything like profound or like ridiculously terrible, but it was just a like long drawn out dinner at the Cheesecake Factory, which usually takes a couple of hours, but there were so many awkward silences and pauses. I just couldn't find ways to fill the silence, and there was just like no connection.
Those are the worst dates, honestly, where you're just like, can this be over? Like, I just want to go home, when they're boring, and yeah, it's bad.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes I would almost rather have like a date where stuff goes wrong, because then it's something to talk about. I guess it like breaks the ice if it's not too weird or too bad. But yeah, no, just like sitting in there, I have nothing to talk about. It's like,
yeah, I have a friend that only does first dates like at a coffee shop. So she's like, look, at most it's 30 minutes. And then if they leave you wanting more, then you guys can like transition into like going to lunch or something. But she's like, now you're just out easy that way. So it's a good idea.
Genius.
My worst first date story was when I went to the restaurant, but it was like the wrong restaurant. And so it was very embarrassing for a while, since I waited for a long time before I realized, oh yeah, this is not the place I was supposed to be at. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like mine. It's not like the worst thing that could happen, but it's just getting off really on the wrong foot.
Exactly. Well, in this case, at least, if the dates continued, that could be like another restaurant that you go to.
Right. Let's try that place next time. I know exactly where it is.
Exactly.
Okay, so one time I was on a first date, and when I met this guy on Tinder, he kept bragging about how rich he was and how he like published a book at 17 and made millions of dollars.
Ew.
And then when we went out, he took me to IHOP on our first date, and he asked me to go Dutch, which normally I'm fine with.
Okay. Yeah. So listen, going to IHOP, perfectly fine for a first date. Going Dutch, that's up to y'all. However,
if he's a guy who's like, I'm making millions of dollars, I'm swimming in money.
Yeah, pay for your own pancake.
What?
Pay for your own pancake. Like what?
Exactly. Pay for your own and pay for mine, because clearly you're not wanting for money. You have some to spare.
Right.
So I kid you not, on one of my first dates, I actually had a guy ask if his mom could come.
His mom?
Seriously. Let's just say I allowed it, but there was no second date after that.
No.
He asked if his mom could come on their first date.
No. No.
Oh, girl, run. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's mighty presumptuous. That's like, I don't even know, like at least a couple dates in, not first sitting down and saying hi.
I mean, like a lot of couple of dates.
Yeah.
Before that. Like, a year of dates, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Heather, so sorry.
Yeah, that's bad.
My worst first date was one that I did not want to happen at all, but the guy showed up to my apartment and knocked on the side of my window after I had canceled. So I awkwardly said hi through the window and went outside and got coffee with him. Never texted him again.
Oh, okay, ladies, do not ever, ever, ever give someone your address. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way. Don't give somebody your address when you've never met them and you don't know them. A first date is at a very public place. Like, that's actually scary. And I'm glad that she's here to tell the tale and we can laugh about it. But holy smokes. Can you imagine rapping on your window?
Ooh, no. Because because then it's like, what if the relationship ends badly?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you move?
And clearly he's a psycho to start with. So, holy cow.
Absolutely not. Ugh. It's so creepy.
So my absolute worst first date story is with my boyfriend. I went to his house to see him and like hang out for the first time. We went to leave to get food and I fell off his front porch. I fell off the porch and tried to get up like nothing happened. It happened.
That's so embarrassing. You know, she just wanted to die.
Literally.
That is so terrible.
Yeah. Like what falling off the porch? Like, was there not a railing? Did you fall down the stairs? I need more details.
I know. Were drinks involved with this meal? Like, I need more too.
Same. Well, this is, wow, what a collection of stories. Definitely a very informative question on what not to do on a first date. But let's send one of these first date stories to the final round so they can compete to be the weekly champion. Votes and then the number of the answer you love the most.
Oh, that stalker guy just really got me.
Oh my God, yeah. That's like actually terrifying.
It's frightening, yeah. But I don't know. That mom, asking mom, I mean, that's right up there with horrifying experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's falling off the porch though.
Yeah, no. Easily the funniest of the collection, I would say.
Yes, and I feel like it's relatable. Like we've all done something clumsy, klutzy. You know, when you first meet somebody, and you're like, "Oh, can I just do this last 5 minutes over again?"
Yeah, no, it's. Well, congratulations, Brandy. That was such a good answer. We will see you in the final round. Now, fans, we turn it over to you with the poll. What would be your first date nightmare? Is it making a scene in public? Oh, no. Getting ghosted? Oh, going to the wrong location, like Rihanna. Or the other person is just super weird, which I feel like encompasses almost every other answer.
Yeah. Oh. In public. Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like that makes sense because it's like, all the other ones, I guess it's like you can deal with them in private and then just move on. But the mortifying experience of like being seen in public and like, oh my gosh, everyone can see what's happening.
Exactly. And you know, it's going to be a story that's retold by the other person, whether you guys work out or not, like over and over again.
Awful. Well, this is such another amazing question. Now we're going to go on to our next question from Monday.
On Monday, we wanted to know what's a turnoff for you on a first date? And I know there are lots, but like, what's your personal ick, as JJ says? Like, what's the one thing?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I feel like this one ties in a little bit to the last question, but it's less like a story and more just like a general thing. I feel like for me, it's kind of what Alexis was talking about, where it's like just being able to maintain a conversation. And I know that's like definitely, as a person who is admittedly very awkward, it can be difficult, but just like asking the basic questions, like, what do you do? How's your job going? Where do you live? Not where do you live? But like just the basics that like tell you about the other person and like allows for stuff to come about. It's just, if you can't do that, it's like, why are we even here?
Yeah. And there's the three rule of thumb, right? So if somebody has tried to initiate a question to learn more about you, if you've now talked about three things about yourself, it is time for you to bounce back. It's time for you to start asking about them and try to generate more conversations so that you're not sitting there talking about yourself all night. And if somebody else is doing that, it's probably not going to be a fun time.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm going to take that. That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah. 3 rule.
Yes. And they say QOTD is an education.
I'm telling you.
Well, we have some really good answers in this vein. So let's get our answers from fans. What is your first date turnoff?
Oh, something that somebody would say on the first date that would be a turnoff or do. So probably my biggest or probably my worst turnoff would be smoking. Don't smoke around me. That would be my biggest one. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty weird thing for somebody to do nowadays,
Yeah. But I feel like it's like, just if you need to do it, just like save it for after the date. Cause I don't want to come back with secondhand smoke.
Yeah. Or
like
smoker's breath. Nobody's going to want to kiss you.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would say it would be a big turnoff if someone were to ask me how many kids I want to have. I mean, even if I liked somebody, even if they were hot, even if I was firing on all cylinders with them, that's something I really don't want to hear on a first date. It makes everything awkward, and I can put up with just about anything conversationally, but that would put the brakes on everything. Yeah, big turnoff. We'll settle the kids thing later.
Yeah, I agree with him. That's like going head first.
Exactly. Yeah, it's mighty presumptuous to assume that a person that you have just met in person for the first time is going to want to have kids, period, let alone like any hasn't even thought about that answer.
Or like there's no right answer. What are you thinking? Are you thinking 0? Are you thinking 3? Like you're kind of, this isn't what's going to make you a match. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Well, first of all, I don't go on very many dates anymore. Okay, let's get that, let's get that out of the way. But when I did do the dating thing, a turnoff for me would be nervousness, which I guess is natural, but unnatural nervousness, where a person is so thoroughly self-conscious that they just can't seem to do anything right. It's kind of a pill.
I kind of get what he's saying, and I know it's hard if you're a nervous person or if you're like even a ticky person. I did go on a date with somebody who incessantly tapped his foot because his knee was bouncing the whole time, and it was like a little distracting, and I didn't know him well enough to like put my hand on his knee and be like, relax. But so I kind of get what he's saying. Yeah, it's hard though. Dates are nerve-wracking.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's a healthy balance between like what's a healthy amount of nervousness? Like, are you like working yourself up into a tizzy, or is it just like, oh, I have like some butterflies in my stomach?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm on a first date with someone and that person starts talking of other people, like start talking nonsense and bad things about them, that would probably be a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I talked about that earlier. When you talk smack about your ex or your family or anything, like, don't do that, guys. Like, it's nobody appreciates it. You don't look like the better person at all. It's just, I 100% agree with Carlos.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's like, why are you so hooked up on your ex? Why are they taking up so much of your thought space when it should be like here?
Right, exactly.
A turn off for me on the first date would definitely be having smelly breath. Smells is something that it just does something to me psychologically. it puts you in a different state of mind with somebody. When their breath smells, it's like, ugh.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought of that, but it's so true. It really does. It's such a turnoff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I'm always so cautious about like food dates. Cause I'm like, I could like brush my teeth, have like a bunch of Altoids and mints, and then I show up and it's like a pizza date, and I'm like, well, I guess I need to carry like Altoids in my bag because I need like something. But then if there's like food in your teeth, it's a slippery slope.
And you're so funny because you always worry about food in your teeth. We were on the air, last week, and JJ realized he had a poppy seed in his teeth and it about drove him crazy.
I can't come on this show without someone exposing me. That is so rude. But yeah. It's like, it's just like you watch it and you're like, oh my God, really?
Right.
Oh my God.
Okay, so if they pick me up and their car and or apartment is really dirty, it's a big turnoff. If they have really obnoxious bumper stickers on their car, that's a turnoff. If they only want to eat like chicken nuggets and French fries, that's a turnoff. If they spend the entire time talking about themselves and don't try and ask me about my life or engage in like actual conversation, it's a huge turnoff.
Okay, it's a lot of turnoffs. She's not wrong about any of them.
No, the only thing that we can dock her for is that it was supposed to be just one, but
she kind of had a package there wrapped up.
I feel like it all orbited around sort of like maturity and like,
it did too.
Yeah.
Neva,
we appreciate all the insights. But now it's time for you all to choose your favorite turnoff, your most relatable turnoff, what also might give you the ick. Vote for your favorite answers by typing vote space and then your favorite answer in the chat. It's a good one. Yeah, I feel like honestly, I might go with Neva because it was a lot, but like all very important things, like having a mature palate, stuff like that.
And it's okay if you like to eat chicken nuggets and fries on the regular, but like on a date, spring for the steak,
Exactly.
The breath, Brian, and the bad breath. Yeah. So that our fans think that is the biggest turnoff on a first date.
Yeah. That is, I can't agree more. It's the most annoying thing when it happens to you, and it's a turnoff when it happens for other people. So we don't actually have a poll for this question this week, but we will have one in the future. Don't you worry. In the meantime, we're going to move on to the next prompt.
Great. We asked fans, what's the weirdest thing someone ever told you in bed? So we're going deep with this one. Well, I've had a couple of things said to me, but I think my favorite is somebody who asked me later in the evening, but we were still in bed, if he could try on my dress that I wore that night. Little black dress.
Oh my God.
It's like, it was horrifying. And I was just really sad.
You birthed a drag queen. That's fun, though. That's great.
So terrible.
Hey,
I was like, oh, well, this was a waste of time.
Oh, yeah, you never know. I guess it's like afterwards, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen at any point in a date. So I'm very excited to hear all of these answers. Fans, tell us. This is a very vulnerable question. So thank you, Trish. And fans, thank you for telling us what is the weirdest thing someone has said to you in bed.
The weirdest thing someone ever said to me while in bed, in the midst of it all, he asked me that I want to have his baby. In the midst of it all, do I want to have your baby? No. Don't you ever, okay? Fix your mouth to ask somebody that while y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. It's just not okay.
It just shocks me the things that people will say to other human beings. Like,
and just like so quickly, like, what is this fixation on kids? Like, let's be in the moment, you know.
We were horrified that somebody would ask how many kids you want. Look at this. Wow.
Oh my God.
What's the weirdest thing someone's ever said to you in bed? Okay. I guess some people are, into violence and whatnot, but that's not my thing. So the weirdest thing somebody ever said to me is probably like, hit me, like in the face. And I was like, I can't do that. That's wild. Yeah. So yeah.
I thought at first it was a playful, like, hit me baby one more time.
To be fair, if someone said quoted a Britney Spears lyric to me in bed, I don't even know what I would do.
Ooh, baby, baby.
Oh.
All night. Slams the door open and says, "Wake up, biscuit!" And then it was time for me to wake up and go on whatever we were doing. I wasn't pleased, but looking back, that wasn't even very nice of him to do.
So he took a different take on this, I think, because I've heard this before. So he was in bed with somebody, I believe, and a roommate stormed in and said, "Wake up, biscuits!" And so he took a little bit of a different take on this. So it wasn't something that the person in bed said to him. It's just something weird that was said when he was in bed with somebody else. So it's pretty funny. I don't know why they call him biscuits, but
wake up, biscuit.
Weirdest thing someone's ever said to me in bed probably has to be while we were laying in bed. It was about 30 minutes of silence. You're just waiting there. It's in the morning and you're getting ready to just get up, make some coffee. And then just out of nowhere, pure silence, waking up, both wake up. You love David Clubberlang? I don't even know who David Clubberlang is. Apparently, it was a movie star and it was just random and we just died about it.
It's really, really random.
Yeah, I don't even know who David Clubberlang is.
No, I don't either.
Well, David Clubberlang, if you're watching, shout out.
The weirdest thing someone said to me in bed was probably, "Don't wake me up at my first alarm." So I was like, what? And basically they set several alarms and they don't want woke up after the very first alarm. So I was like, okay. And I didn't stay because that drives me crazy.
Oh, see, that is so normal for me. I thought it was weird that you thought it was weird that somebody wouldn't want to wake up after their first alarm.
For me, there are 11 commandments.
Right.
And the 11th commandment is if you are having someone over at your house, don't subject them to multiple wake up alarms.
Yeah. Oh no, I wouldn't think that was weird at all.
No, because I remember I used to live with people, and one time one of my roommates left on the alarm for too long, and I was like, this can't happen again.
Oh yeah, that's annoying, right? Yeah, you definitely got to kill it quickly. You can reset it, but
yeah. And also, I'm not saying you can't have multiple alarms, but if you're having someone over, the first thing to do in the morning is turn all of them off except for the one you need.
Yeah, maybe you should have your dates on Friday night if you don't work on Saturday. I think that would be a better approach.
Genius, yeah.
What is the weirdest thing someone ever said to you in bed? Wow, I was glamping at the Glastonbury Festival and someone got into my bed and said, "Do I know you?" They were a little bit Piscanana. I said, "Well, I hope not." But anyway, a couple of years later, they're now my husband.
A weird thing to say to somebody in bed, but it worked.
Literally, that I don't even know. That is unparalleled levels of. Do you know Riz?
No.
Okay. Riz is short for charisma, and something the kids say where it's like, oh, this person has a lot of Riz. I think this guy seemed to have so much Riz that even just saying, who are you? Do I know you?
Yeah. That took some moxie, but heck, it paid off.
Exactly. Wow, these are such so good. These
Crazy.
are such good answers. Vote for your favorite one in chat by typing vote space and then the number of the answer you love the most. Wow,
Oh,
what
man.
a collection.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't even know.
I don't.
Do I know you?
Oh, I don't either. I mean, number 2, I can't even vote for it in good conscience for some reason. It's killing me. But
Yes, I think that one is easily, I would say, the most vulnerable of them. I think Wake Up Biscuit holds a special place in my heart. Oh. Whoa.
We're just going to say the Britney Spears answer
Hit me,
was the fan
baby, one
favorite.
more time. Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
I guess it is the weirdest thing that we heard.
That's true. That's true.
Bizarre.
Very bizarre. And especially if you have the right vocal inflections, try to do the impression well. Oh, baby. Well,
Congratulations, Anthony.
Yes, we will see you in the final round. But now we turn it over to you fans with the poll. Oh, so we're asking how you set a romantic mood on a date. So we're asking if it's the music, if it's the candles, if it's the flirting, or if it's like just all about the time of day that it happens. You know, if it's the right time of day, the right time of night.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. That makes sense. Music.
Okay. Yeah. Except for that one guy on Tinder that doesn't like music. For everyone else, it works.
Yeah. I mean, no, we didn't include it this week, but we have another question about like, what's your favorite makeout album? And I think there's a reason why we have that question. It's just something about the music can get you into the mood to have a good date.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this was another incredible question. We're going to move right along to our question from Wednesday.
And Wednesday we asked, can you be friends with your ex-lover? Like, is it really possible to be friends once you've been more than friends?
I think it is possible if you acknowledge that things will just feel a little different afterwards.
Right.
Because I think it also helps because I know that like I have some friends who became partners and then they reverted back to friends. I don't know a lot of people who started dating someone like after not knowing them and then they became friends, but I guess it just depends on the relationship. And even then, like once you're friends, it's like, okay, friends with the acknowledgement that you dated.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's probably possible for if all the stars aligned, but it's never going to be as pure a friendship as a friendship is because you don't know physically everything about, your friend. So I think it's like a little bit of a different level. I don't know. I think it's hard.
Yeah, no, I think, I agree. It's definitely hard. Yeah, it's tough. That's why we have it as a question. I think there's a lot of differing opinions in the answers that we're about to go through. So without further ado, fans, we ask you, can you really be friends with an ex?
So this is kind of interesting and funny to me. My last girlfriend broke up with me 2 years ago, and she had said she fully believed that we could still be friends. And I agreed because we'd been friends for years before we even started dating. What happened after that, though, is I've never heard from her again. Not once.
Boo! She sucks.
Yeah, it's always so weird when it's like, oh, we can still be friends, being code for I don't want to like talk to you again.
Yeah.
It's like it's a hard like thing to say. It's a hard thing to reveal, but like it's better than like trying to trick you into saying, oh, we could be friends.
Yeah, right. Grow up.
I think so, but I also have never had like an actual breakup. I've been with my boyfriend for like a really long time. But if we were to break up, I would think we'd be friends. I'd hope so, because you care about that person and obviously you like them enough to like spend the time you did with them.
I think particularly after your first breakup, it's going to be real tough, Lauren. Like, because that one's going to hurt.
Yes. Yeah, no, there's always the first time and it's like, oh, but then I guess as it happens more and more, you're like, okay, not that you're like good riddance. Sometimes, but it's like, okay, you're used to those emotions, you know how to deal with them a little bit more. So
yeah.
I definitely think it's possible to be friends with an ex. And I actually think it's really cool when two people can like have shared that experience and then can still be respectful and like still chill after they get out of a relationship. But I also think it depends on the people involved and also the circumstances around the breakup.
Yep. Because if somebody got burned really badly in the relationship or were totally disrespected, that's tough. Who wants to be friends with that person?
Exactly. Yeah, it's all a matter of respect. I feel like the big theme of the show today is like maturity and respect.
Absolutely.
That's what it all comes down to.
Definitely cannot be friends with my ex. It would not work. We ended up in really bad terms, and I don't think that would be logical or reasonable.
Yeah. So going back to the last fan answer, if somebody does something egregious, no, it's never going to work.
Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. We broke up because it was long distance and he said he wanted to date other girls near him, but he didn't want to break up with me in case he liked me better. Absolutely not. I ended it there. He started a long argument with me just because he was mad.
Okay, bad boyfriend, also bad friend, like bad form altogether. So yeah, bye boy.
Yeah, no, awful.
Me personally, I think I would be able to be friends with my ex because I am very mature now and I don't have a problem talking to people. As long as we could get along, I could be friends with my ex.
Okay, there we go. Mature. She can do it. I mean, good on you if you can. It might be hard for me. I would just feel like we're at such a different level, but different strokes for different folks,
Exactly. Well, these are some good answers. A lot of differing opinions for sure. But now it's time for your voice to be heard, fans. Do you think you could be friends with an ex? Vote for your favorite answer and send them to the final round.
Oh boy. I feel bad for number one. I want him to win just because he got screwed over. But
Same. Yeah, no, I think one definitely is the worst. Nah, Geraldine also has kind of a sad story though, because it sounds like they just did not. No, five. Oh, five.
Yeah,
Oh,
5.
5. Oh.
And she said yes, right?
Yeah.
I think she said yes. That is
Kyla's
possible.
yes.
All right. So our fans agree that there's hope for all of us. Yay.
Yay. Love wins. Well, this was such an incredible set of answers. Thank you all so much. And thank you, Kylie. Congratulations. Now we will move on because we have a poll for this question. Do you think you can be friends with your ex? We asked our community. We have a huge YouTube community, lots of subscribers. We're at like 800,000. So there's a lot of input. And we asked them, could you be friends with your ex? We have yes, no, depends, and maybe. We'll see.
Is that a tie? Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no. Yes. Yes is the answer. We're all adults here. Back to our maturity theme. Yeah. I certainly think it's possible to be absolutely civil and even supportive. Just like be cool. I just don't know about the actually like being friends and going out and doing things together thing. I don't know. But it's definitely possible to just like, be okay.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a stark difference between like ending on good terms, being acquaintances, and like being friends. So I mean, I guess like we all talked about, it's going to take a lot of work, but it sounds like never say never. So we actually have one more question for the week from today before we get to our weekly championship. And it's a doozy.
Today's question is, do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe that everyone has someone that they're actually meant to be with? So I know you think that I'm like a little bit of a cynic, but I'm gonna do a hard no on this one. I just think it's impossible that there's just one person in the whole world, right? Not just your city, not just your country, in the whole world that you are just destined to find and be with and have the perfect life. I think relationships just take work and trust and all the things that we know we need to put into them. And I feel like anyone could be your soulmate if you both want that for each other. What do you think?
I think I kind of agree. I was sort of starting to think about it as like in the framework of like a best friend, where it's like it feels like everyone should have a best friend, but it's like I feel like for me, I'm like, I don't know if I have one best friend because
Right.
every friend like I have a meaningful relationship with, and I don't know if I could choose like, okay, this is the one person who I'm like, who is my best friend, whose
Yeah.
friendship I treasure over everyone else. So I'm like, it definitely feels very fairy tale to say like, oh, there's one.
I love that. I love that you put it that way. I think that makes a lot of sense. Like it puts things really in perspective. Like, could you only have one best friend that you were destined? Like, no, there's lots of people, to get to know and explore and share your life with.
Exactly. Well, these are just our thoughts. I think we have really good takes on the situation. But I know that some people kind of disagree with us, and some people have some really interesting takes on it as well. So without further ado, fans, we ask you, do you believe in soulmates?
Do I believe in soulmates? As a hopeless romantic, I want to say yes, but I also do believe that there are people that are meant to be in your life and teach you things. So I think you can have a couple of soulmates or just people that were really meant to be, a love in your life.
Okay. So I feel like Sonia kind of agrees with us, where it's like there's not just one person, but
I personally think there isn't a soulmate necessarily, but I know there's a lot of people that do believe in that type of stuff. I'm not really sure, but it's a cool idea, I think.
yeah, I think it's definitely emphasis on it's a cool idea because I mean, hey, listen, I might not believe in soulmates, but I'll be damned if Disney doesn't sell it on me every time.
I do believe in soulmates. I think everyone has a person who they're meant to be with. I think that not everyone really finds their soulmate, I think that's a hard thing to find. But everyone has someone who is just their perfect fit. Who just is the better half of them, Yeah.
I knew she was going to say yes because she's just so sweet.
But then she added in that part about like, no, some people don't find their soulmate, which honestly, that sounds worse.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me though. Like if you're destined to have this one person in your life, like how did you never find them, right? Like how did your worlds never collide?
That's a good point. Maybe it's like you're on like two different sides of the world. Maybe there's like a language barrier. I don't know. But but then like if there's a language barrier where you're meant to be together, if you can't even communicate with each other. I don't know. It's a tough question. Deceptively.
Because soulmates existed, that would mean that we didn't have the free will to choose who our partner or partners are going to be. I don't believe we're locked to one other individual. I believe that we have the option to choose the person who we want to be with and to choose to love them. Not that we end up with a partner and then, our soulmate is on the other end of the world and we never have a chance to be with them. I think we have the free will to choose to love someone and be in a relationship with them.
Right. It's the most logical answer that we've had so far, where it's just like life is what you make it, right? A relationship is what you make it. And if you want it, go for it.
I agree.
I do believe that everyone will find a soulmate. It might take time, but I believe that there is someone out there who is perfect for a person. Again, it might take a while before you find them or before they find you, but I do believe ultimately, in the end, it does and will happen.
Yeah, I certainly think there's someone for everyone, right? Not necessarily your soulmate, like a destiny thing, but you will find your people.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, thinking about some of the worst people I know who have partners, I'm like, if they can find someone, there's someone for everyone. Let's be clear.
I absolutely believe in soulmates. I believe that we all come to this earth with a purpose, especially to find that one person that suits us, that understands us, that doesn't necessarily need to say anything, but that just know who you are and how to support you and how to love you the way you're supposed to be loved. So definitely believe in soulmates, and everybody on this earth has someone somewhere waiting for them or just waiting to meet them.
Cute.
I know. That's the thing is I'm like, and also that was such a good just like description of a relationship that I'm like, oh no, I want to find my soulmate. Well, this is such a sweet last question. There's one last slot left in the weekly finale final round, the final championship round. So vote for your favorite answer now.
Oh man. I didn't. Number 4 like really had it. He was like thought hard on this. He's just like, listen, you got to look at it like in a linear way, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Put some thought into it. But number 5 is so sweet. They're all so sweet. We love you guys.
Yeah, our fans are the best.
Yes. And it's Sonia.
Ooh. Okay, so that's kind of the idea of like you can have multiple, kind of what we were saying, where it's like you can have multiple people who in your life you're like, okay, this person I feel a special connection with.
Yes, well earned, Sonia, the last slot.
Oh, yes. That's so exciting. Congratulations, Sonia. But before we get to the final round, we have to do our last poll of the show. We're asking you, do you believe that everyone has a soulmate? Do you think yes? Do you think no? Do you think it depends on the definition of a soulmate? Or like Sonia, do you think people can have multiple soulmates? Yeah, I think we're both pretty solidly no. Oh, but everyone else is solidly yes. Wow.
It shows what we know. That's why we're single, right?
Exactly. Exactly. We're like, oh, there's no such thing as soulmates, and everyone else is like, I found mine, so I don't know what's up with like that's your problem. Well, thank you all for voicing your opinions. Thank you, fans, for your answers. We've actually gone through all 7 questions for the week, which means there's only one last thing to do, and that is the championship round. Woo! Boo, boo, boo. So we have gone through all the 7 questions. We've chosen all of our finalists, and now they are going to duke it out to see who is the weekly champion for Dating Week. So before we vote, we're going to do a quick recap because we've been on the show for a little while. So I think, it helps to remember who's won, remember what they said, and then you can vote away. You ready to do it?
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Okay, I don't know if this would be a good answer, but I guess there's no good answers. I would say peanut M&Ms. I know that's not a candy bar, but this is how I look at it. My love life, there's lots of different people from all walks of life that have come in and out of my love life. So to me, it's like the different colors of the peanut M&Ms on the outside. But then at the root of it all, on the inside, I feel like everyone that's walked into my love life has had like a very mature, like we've had a mature connection, at least on my end. So I look at like the peanut to be like that mature part of the candy. So yeah, that's that's what I would say for that answer.
Yes, so Sonia is answering the question, if your love life was a candy, which candy would it be? And she has a very in detail metaphor about how her life is like M&Ms.
So my absolute worst first date story is with my boyfriend. I went to his house to see him and like hang out for the first time. We went to leave to get food and I fell off his front porch. I fell off the porch and tried to get up like nothing happened. It happened.
Oh, so Brandy is answering the question, what's your absolute worst first date story? And happens to the best of us, she fell off his porch.
A turn off for me on the first date would definitely be having smelly breath. Smells is something that it just does something to me psychologically. It puts you in a different state of mind with somebody. When their breath smells, it's like, ugh.
Yes, so Brian is answering the question, what is a first date turnoff, a turnoff that you might have on a first date? And he is saying if you have body odor, if you have bad breath, if you have any sort of bad smells, no, no, thank you.
Me personally, I think I would be able to be friends with my ex because I am very mature now and I don't have a problem talking to people. As long as we could get along, I could be friends with my ex.
Okay, so Kyla is answering the question, could you be friends with your ex? And she is saying that she could because she's just like a naturally very social, very nice person. Kyla, good for you.
What's the weirdest thing someone's ever said to you in bed? Okay. I guess some people are, into violence and whatnot, but that's not my thing. So the weirdest thing somebody ever said to me is probably like, hit me, like hit me, like in the face. And I was like, I can't do that. That's wild. Yeah. So.
So Anthony is answering the question, what's the weirdest thing someone said to you in bed? And this is obviously Trisha's favorite answer because is eliciting I get eliciting the Britney Spears lyrics, hit me baby one more time. Oh my gosh, so good.
Do I believe in soulmates? As a hopeless romantic, I want to say yes, but I also do believe that there are people that are meant to be in your life and teach you things. So I think you can have a couple soulmates or just people that were really meant to be, a love in your life.
Ooh, so Sonia is answering the question, do you believe in soulmates? And this is actually her second answer. So she has 2 horses in the race, but she is saying that you can actually have multiple, not just one.
Something that would scare me on a dating profile is if someone says that they like feet or that they don't like music. Like, who are you? Who even are you?
No, so Denny is answering the question, what is something on a dating profile that would definitely scare you off? And she's saying if you like feet and if you don't like music, don't even say, hey, what's up over the messaging app. Just keep on going. So these are all of our answers. It is time for you to vote for the weekly champion. You can vote in chat by typing vote space and then the number, and that person will be crowned the champion of dating week.
Woo-hoo.
Woo. Wow, this was truly one of the most emotional roller coaster type of shows I think we've had in a while. We've gotten into the good, the bad, the ugly, the sweets, the cringeworthy, all of it. Wow.
Yeah, it's so funny. They really ran the gamut.
Okay, and so we're going with Denny.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. This is a very good advice for people. If you don't like music, come on. There's gotta be there's soulmates. There's gotta be one artist that you can listen to. Come on.
Right, exactly.
So this was such an outstanding week. Thank you all so much for watching and for answering our questions. We had such a blast, obviously. Unfortunately, that means we have reached the end of dating week, but fortunately, that means we have reached to the beginning of next week's questions, which will start tomorrow. Trish, I heard that you have the scoop on what next week's theme is.
Oh, you heard right. Next theme is vacations. So I can't speak. I'm like gobsmacked about vacations. With the Paris Olympics starting tomorrow, we thought there's no better time to talk about the wonderful world of travel, including your dream vacation spots, your fantasy vacation buddies, and just the world's best hotspots.
Yes, I know that I will definitely be tuning in to the Olympics. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see Simone Biles compete in gymnastics. That's just me though. But yeah, no, the Olympics, it's a perfect time. All of these different countries are coming together. So what better time to talk about the worlds and the wonderful worlds of travel than with a moment when all of our world's countries are traveling to compete together.
I love it.
But I also heard that you have a little bit of a scoop on what tomorrow's question is, not just the theme. So what's the tea on that? What's tomorrow's question?
Well, tomorrow's question is, if you could work from home anywhere, where would you want to work from? And I really like this question because a lot of us work from home already, but most likely we're not surrounded by, say, waterfalls and white sands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm surrounded by blue wall, ceiling, and desk. So
Exactly. That's most of us. So we got to put our dreaming cap on and figure out where we would love to work from home.
Exactly. Oh, that's going to be such a good question. That question will be available to answer tonight at midnight on QOTD.beyondtheair.com. But actually, remember that you can play QOTD anytime you want. You can watch our 24-hour show. You can vote for your favorite answers during the show. And you can even record your own answers to any of our QOTD questions at any time. We have a link to like all of the questions. It's very useful. And make sure to also play our other Beyond the Air games, including Sketch the Cat and our new Play Along game.
Yes. Also, be sure to subscribe to get tomorrow's announcement, as well as our daily community polls and our favorite answers right in your inbox. So, guys, thanks again for watching, and we can't wait to see you on TV.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.